Today's video is on the cult of happiness. I'm going to be looking at happiness in a negative light. Not really. Happiness is fine, okay? There's nothing wrong with being happy. But I'm going to be arguing that there's other things in life that may be a lot more important than happiness. And I'm going to be arguing that not everybody cares about happiness or wants to be happy. Happiness, in my view, is just like any other emotion. It's not special. It's like laughter, okay? Some people, laughter is a critical element of their life. For some people, they like to laugh once in a while, right? And for some people, laughter, they just don't give a crap, right? They have other interests. And if they never laugh in their entire life, that would be fine to them. Now, if you notice that the picture and the sound quality in this video are a lot better, you're not hallucinating. It's actually a lot better. So I upgraded my camera big time. I am going to be upgrading this channel in ways that matter more than just better picture quality. I'm going to start paying guests to come on the show. So I'd like to bring some lawyers onto the show. I'd like to bring policemen. And I'd like to bring politicians onto the show. It's going to start getting really interesting because we're going to start learning about how all these systems have all kinds of really stupid things. And people tend to not believe me. And yeah, I even got this. That is the best upgrade of all. Since birth, I think that the culture of happiness and positive thinking are really heavily pushed onto people. I think it's especially true with women. Like if a woman's not giving off a positive vibe and smiling 24 hours a day, then they're defective or something. But it's definitely true with men as well. And in general, I think we just see people who are unhappy as undesirable. Now, I think the best place you see the happiness cult and tyranny is in relationships. Probably the best predictor of whether a relationship is going to succeed or if it's going to fail is the happiness factor. Nearly the goal of every relationship is to pursue happiness, and I think that's very selfish and stupid. The goal of a relationship should be to pursue meaningful and deep love, whether or not that leads to happiness. And I'm not saying to be miserable, because love is a wonderful experience, whether or not it brings you happiness. You don't have to be in a state of relaxed contentment where you're smiling to feel good, right? That's just not true. And happiness does not create the wonderful moral altruism that love does. So you can have two people or one person in a relationship who's perfectly happy, but happy people aren't necessarily going to treat each other well, right? Kids are often super happy all the time, but they torture each other. There's many people who get amusement from torturing each other, right? Love is what produces the deep respect, the deep caring, the deep trust, and the moral benefits of relationships. So why is happiness even a goal in relationships? Love should be the fundamental goal of relationships, not happiness. And that's really messed up when you think of it, because it is just such a widely accepted norm that a relationship is unsuccessful if somebody's unhappy. That's stupid. Now, if you look at the origins of this happiness cult, I think it very largely comes from institutions of power. But people who are happy all the time, they're very easy to order around, right? That's like the perfect sheeple. The perfect sheep is the happy sheep who just does whatever you want with a smile, right? That is the easiest person to control. So, he's kind of like the ancient proverb, get them drunk and get them fed, and then you can send them off to war. It's not an ancient proverb. I just made up some crap. Nevertheless, it doesn't really matter what you quote as long as you quote something. It's very obvious. Like you go to a Walmart, they have a whole thing about smiling. You work at any store like McDonald's, they make their staff smile. But you also see that in any corporation. You see that in any school. So I think that's one of the dark elements behind why happiness is pushed. And again, happiness is not a bad thing. I have no objection to happiness whatsoever. Now, the next thing I like to look at is how people are indoctrinated about their own biology. And we're all taught that the highest fulfillment is to reach happiness. And I don't agree with that at all. I think it's very obvious that people have different emotional biology. For some people, the pursuit of happiness is the most meaningful thing in life to them, right? And to some people, the pursuit of love is. To some people, the pursuit of personal ambitions. To some people, it's the pursuit of justice. To some people, it's the pursuit of laughter. Laughter is the most important aspect of their existence, right? Humans vary, and we're brainwashed to believe that everybody reaches their highest fulfillment by pursuing what makes them happy, and that's crap. And I think that people should not just by default aim for happiness. So, for example, for someone like me, the pursuit of justice and the pursuit of true love is much more meaningful than happiness. I think that a lot of people are throwing away fulfillment in life by pursuing happiness. Alright, before we start this video, I'm going to give a quick demonstration of epistemology. Ooh, that's a fancy word. And I don't like fancy words. So this is just about understanding. Understanding knowledge itself. So, I want to ask you, what is the strongest proof ever possible by logic, and what is the strongest proof ever possible by evidence? And I can tell you what they both probably are. Any statement that is logically coherent is a perfect proof by logic. So for example, if I say a large object is larger than a small object, we can be pretty damn certain that that statement is accurate. And the strongest proof by evidence is that I have experience of some type. You could say that something is happening. Those are proofs by evidence which are really strong. Any sort of subjective claim is going to be really accurate. I can say that I'm looking at a wall, or I can say I'm looking at what appears to be a wall in my head, and I'm pretty damn certain of that. Maybe the wall's not real, but I'm pretty damn certain that I think I'm looking at a wall, right? So that's the strongest proof by evidence. And my question to you is, which is more convincing? The strongest proof by evidence or the strongest proof by logic? Which one do you find more convincing? And that's a hard question.